Christine says she is done with her marriage with Cody. She's over it and she wants to move back to Utah. Guys, the season finale of Sister Wives was on not so long ago, and I usually kind of hate on this show, but I'm telling y'all what, this last episode was unbelievable. It was a 2-hour special, so much drama, so much stuff going on, and I don't want to waste any time because we had to talk about what is now going on with Christine, because she was kind of always kept low-key. I didn't think she had much of a huge issue with Cody, but now on the last episode, she said she is over it, she is done, and she's even talking about possibly ending her marriage with Cody so she can go back to Utah. Guys, this is unbelievable. Here is the scoop. We have to backpedal a little bit because so much other stuff was going on. Basically, the episode started off with Janelle. She got all of the wives and Cody together. They were doing this marriage exercise, which is probably just weird to even say because there are 4 wives and 1 husband, but they were doing this marriage exercise where basically they had a big whiteboard. Everyone could write down something that kind of makes them upset and mad and angry. Christine had hers, Janelle had blah, 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 blah. Everyone had theirs, and then Cody came around, and Cody said, I am not going to participate because I don't give a crap, and he was going on and on and on about how he doesn't care, he doesn't want to get involved, and how his whole entire freaking marriage has become a complete and total disaster. And all the wives were like, what is he saying? All the wives you could just see were just like, oh my god, Cody is 110% done with this entire plural marriage. But that is not even the craziest part. The craziest part I want to focus on still with Christine, because she wrote on that board that she feels sad and mad when people don't give her attention and they kind of blow her off and don't really take her seriously. So just kind of remember that note. And then later on in the episode, that's when she went to Cody and she went to us, in her confessional and said, hey, I want to go back to Utah. Plural marriage is now not illegal. I don't even know. She keeps saying it's legal now, but I think actually no. It's like basically equivalent to getting like a traffic ticket. So it's not illegal, but it's still not really legal. But it was enough for her to say, hey, I want to go back. She has family. It was home. So she sat down with Cody, and Cody, of course, we all know Cody, he was screaming, ranting, and raving, no, this, that. Then all of a sudden, about a second later, he was like, you know what? All of my friends live there, and this, and I have family, and my memories, and I want to be around more plural families, and I love Utah, and I want to go back to Utah. And he was making this analogy like, we all wanted to go to Arizona, so we went to Arizona, but now that it's technically legal for a plural family to be married or whatever, he's like, well, now we want to go back to Utah. But he was like, well, I already came to, Arizona, so he was like, I'm going back and forth. But he 110% told Christine, I am down and open. He goes, I don't think it'd be possible for our entire family to pull this off, and we're already here, we're already getting settled, but he said, I would absolutely love to go. And Christine was like sunshine and rainbows. She was so happy. She was like, I want to sit down with the other wives and have this conversation with them and see if I can convince them, because the other ladies, they have families and stuff, and like Mary has her business. They have stuff going on in Utah too. And so she sat down with them. Cody was also there. She gave kind of the sales pitch, and every single wife just shut it down. Robin had a legitimate reason. She goes, my kids are in school here, and that's that. I don't want to pull them around. They're getting settled. I'd hate to pull them out and bring them here, and they're constantly moving already. It's been a lot. And so she was kind of just like, honestly, no, And the other thing too that Robin said, which is a legitimate concern, is she was like, hey, this law, the plural marriage law, it got brought down, I guess, to like what I said, like being equivalent to like a traffic ticket. So it's not totally, hey, this is legal and cool and whatnot. It's still not like, great in Utah. And so she was like, well, what if, different politicians get in play and all of a sudden they make it like, really illegal again? Like, what happens if that happens? So she was like, I'm not in favor whatsoever to go back. Mary kind of had an interesting reason. Mary was just like, hey, we've been there. We've tried that. They basically kicked us out. And she was like, I don't want to go back there. That is that. I don't want to, she worded it kind of funny. She was like, I don't want to grace them with my presence. They've kind of said they didn't want us, and I do not want to go back there. And honestly, I don't blame Mary. Like, why would you want to go back to a place that really doesn't want to have you? I know that kind of sounds dramatic, but that was kind of the situation. So I don't blame her whatsoever. So Mary, Robin, they were not on board at all. So she picked up her things and she just started sobbing. Mary grabbed her and they went over, looked at a mountain, and Mary just kept convincing her, stay, stay, stay. Do this for Cody. You can't leave. You can't do this. And Christine just said, listen, I can't do this anymore. I've tried and tried and tried. She doesn't feel listened. She doesn't feel appreciated. She doesn't feel like she wants to even be there. And it's like, Cody, he's not helping the case whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. So Mary was trying to convince her. Mary even said, look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Look how I'm trying to stay with Cody. Look at what we're doing. And then the funniest thing was, at the end of the episode, Christine was like, listen, I greatly appreciate Mary trying to keep me in this family and whatnot, but honestly, I don't want a relationship like Mary and Cody have. I don't want that at all. And she was, honestly, I don't even want a relationship how I have it with Cody right now at all whatsoever. And more stuff happened with Christine I'll talk about in a couple seconds, but you guys, it's not looking good for her. She wants out. She verbatim said, I want out. I want to move to Utah and I'm done. And I wouldn't be shocked if she already moved there. I don't know when this was filmed. This was filmed around summerish, June maybe. So we're closing in on almost a year since this has actually, been filmed. So I would not be shocked if she's planning a move. She was saying like 1 to 2 years. So I wouldn't be shocked by like fall or so, honestly, if Christine packs up her things, gets her girls, and goes back to Utah. Because you can see she's done. She's sick of it. She has absolutely no relationship with Robin, no relationship with Janelle at all, and a little bit of relationship with Mary. And honestly, she has a god-awful relationship with Cody, and she even admitted it. And the saddest thing, you guys, is if you don't already know, Christine has a daughter, Isabelle, who has a very serious back issues. She's in a lot of pain. She's had it since she was 13, and it's a known thing on Sister Wives if you don't already know. But she needs to get a back procedure done because it's a very serious thing. She's getting more and more pain. It was really sad to even hear what was going on. And so, Christine sat down with her daughter and with Cody, and they were talking about her getting a procedure like in September. This was filmed in like May or June or so. It was probably filmed in like June or July, actually. So she was saying September, a couple months out. Obviously, it's in the middle of a pandemic, so no one wants them to go. Christine didn't want to. The daughter didn't want to. No, Cody really didn't want to. But it's like no one wants them to go. But if she is in pain, she should go because the procedure is going to be in New Jersey. They're in Arizona, so they have to travel. Obviously, during a pandemic, not great conditions. But it's like what I'm trying to say is she's in pain. Her back hurts, and she even told her mom, Christine, that hey, if I don't get this surgery done in like a couple months, I don't know if I'm gonna, I can't take it any longer. And that was 9 months ago. So obviously she's overdue. She needs the freaking procedure. But they sat down with Cody, and what did Cody say? Cody said, I am not going. And Christine, I don't think you should go. And he even said, Isabelle, let's just postpone it 6 more months. And she's sitting here. She's literally, his daughter is sitting there in tears. She's so emotional. She's crying. I mean, I even kind of like, I didn't cry, but I even kind of like almost teared up. I was like, this is just sad. She needs this. She is sick. And her own dad is like, saying that she shouldn't go. And he was saying it because of the pandemic. I get it. But it's like, this is not some voluntary thing where they're going on a trip. She freaking needs this. They need to get it done. And honestly, if Cody gave even the slightest bit of a crap about Christine or any of his kids, obviously Isabelle in this case, but if he even gave a bit of a crap, he would just say, hey, we're going to quarantine together for 14 days. We're going to fly to, New Jersey. We're going to get this procedure. I will be there for you. Maybe he'll fly back and quarantine on his own. He would do whatever it took, though. And he's like, I cannot go with you. And he even said, Christine, I don't think you should go. Isabelle, I think you should go on your own to get this freaking procedure on your own. And that's when, again, she started hysterically crying. She was so upset. And Christine just said, absolutely not, Cody. I refuse to do that. I'm not going to leave my daughter. You are just, ugh. That was so mean. So I get the conditions. I get why. We're in the middle of a pandemic, but still, it's like, this is your daughter, dude. Seriously, she's young, and it's like, you really want her to go through this on her own. And then Isabelle was, she was crying. She's like, I don't want to do this by myself. I want my family to be there. And it's like, even just that, dude, that was just so freaking mean. So it was one thing after another, just thing after thing after thing, and Christine finally, at the end of the episode, all of this stuff happened. The stuff with Isabelle, the stuff with Cody not listening to it, the stuff with her wanting to go to Utah, everything, I think, was just weighing out. I think she finally realized that Cody does not give a crap about her, Mary, or Janelle. He only cares about Robin. I don't know why, because Robin annoys the living crap out of me, but he really seems to love his time with Robin. He doesn't see Mary. When he's with Christine, they're constantly fighting, and when he's with, Janelle, it's not that they fight a lot, but it's like he doesn't seem really present. So Christine, she's reached her breaking point. It's it. That is it. As a Mike, I'm calling it right now. They're going to get a divorce, I guess you could say. But comment below what y'all think. Unbelievably crazy episode of Sister Wives season finale, and I just don't even know what else. Unbelievably crazy. We did get to see Mary. She was pretty quiet. The only thing I'm going to say about Mary is we actually got to see Mary with her mother, who has now in present day oh, she passed away, and honestly, that, like, just, I'm sorry my energy just got so low, but oh my god, you guys, I, like, actually, that really did kind of suck to see, because I said before, Mary has no family. She has one daughter. Her daughter's getting married, so she has technically 2 daughters, but it's like, her mom was one of her closest family members, and she obviously doesn't have Cody. Cody could care less about her or anything going on in her life, so she has one, you know, really person in her life, and she just passed away, so that really sucked to see. That honestly just broke my heart, and I can only imagine Mary rewatching that was probably heartbroken too, so that really sucked. We got to see everything go on with Christine. We got to see some stuff with Janelle. Janelle was basically just going with the flow. There's not a whole lot going on with Janelle besides the fact that she needs to travel to see some of her family, and she wanted to quarantine and then do this, and so they were calculating it out with Cody, because Cody doesn't want to be anywhere near her when she is traveling and whatnot, and so it was like, you know, they weren't going to see each other for like literally like 2 months. It was some crazy long thing. I was like, what happened to like a 14-day quarantine? Like, what the heck? So it is just so strange to me that Cody is taking all of this so seriously, and not that I'm saying the pandemic should not be taken seriously. I'm just saying it's like, I went on Cody's Instagram, I swear to you, and he was posting, making fun of the pandemic. I swear. I could be wrong. Maybe I dreamt it, but I swear to God, I saw that, and now it's like on the show, he is just like taking this so freaking serious. So I don't know if he was taking it seriously when they were filming, and then when the season was done, he kind of just like, forget it, I don't care anymore. I don't really know. But he was like, I'm not going to see Janelle for 2 months. Like, what the heck? So that's his deal. That's his own. Honestly, it's like, man, I hope to God he is going to get, you know, vaccine and everything, because, man, he is taking this absolutely serious, which is fantastic. But it's like, dude, I almost kind of feel like he's just, and I am not trying to downplay anything, so don't act like I'm trying to downplay the pandemic or anything, but it's almost like Cody is just saying, hey, I don't want to see Mary, I don't want to see Janelle, I don't really want to see Christine, so I'm going to use the pandemic, especially with Janelle, and just say, hey, I'm going to stay over at Robin's because they're quarantining better, even though it's like, they're all probably quarantining, besides Janelle, they're all probably quarantining about the same. Janelle, we do know her boys are kind of going out and about, but the other 2, Christine and even Mary, they're all probably quarantining. Where are they all going to go? They're not doing anything. So that was kind of just ridiculous. Kind of honestly made me pretty mad, but either way, that was that. And the only last thing, we saw a little bit of Robin, not a whole lot going on with Robin, besides the fact that she, you know, one of her daughters actually graduated high school, and so did one of Christine's. So they were going to do a drive-by parade. It was actually kind of cool. Like, you know, the kids could, it was like a parade-style graduation. It was kind of sweet, kind of cool. Everyone dressed up their cars. However, I want to say something really crazy, guys, and that is, like I said, there were 2 kids, and so if I was Cody, what I think I would do, honestly, is say, listen, I love both of my girls that are graduating, however, I'm going to drive in a separate 3rd car. I wouldn't make a drama out of it at all, but I would just say, I'm going to drive in a separate car and kind of just, and watch the parade as you guys go by and wave and be supportive. However, Cody got in Robin's daughter's car, and Christine and her daughter had to go by herself, and it's like, obviously, Cody can't be in 2 places at once. It's a weird situation, but I will say, it's like, he really got in her car pretty fast, and maybe he was just staying at their house for the time being while the parade was going on. I don't know, but to me, it was like, okay, this is really weird that he, like, without doubt and without even question, just jumped in Robin's car, and Christine and her daughter were just like, oh, well, whatever. So that's it, y'all. The whole moral of the story is Christine and, oh my god, Cody, it is not looking good for them. I have no idea what is going on in present day. I am going to try, though, now that we are on the sister-wife off season, to get some interviews. I am going to try to literally get anyone from this show and the sister-wife family to come on this channel and do an interview to give us an update on what in God's name is going on. I would love to have Cody on. He probably wouldn't do it, but I would absolutely love, because I am just so curious. That was filmed a while ago. What is going on? Where is Christine? Where is Mary? Is Mary still with him? Like, what in God's name is going on? Well, guys, Sister Wives season finale. Are they going to come back for another season? At first, I would honestly say no, but I feel like this last season has gotten so much press and interest and traffic. I would not be shocked, guys, if they actually come back for another freaking season. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit the comments below, hit the subscribe and follow and share button. That helps out this channel so much. If you could just share this video with a friend, with a follower, with a person on a random street corner, it means the world to me, guys. I love you all so much, and please, y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.